the Tennessee Titans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Just off the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Baker going to throw this right away. And he fends him off. And his first pass is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded, and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though he threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
A Lance again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Another run with Sanders. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
That pass taken in by Burks. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. An explosive 38-yard pickup. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Another impressive drive. So they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them. And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Geno. And that is incomplete. That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, Get back to what works.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready, set. 5, 3, 6. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Ready.
Now Etienne to start the drive. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll run with Etienne. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. The Jaguars at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body good.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. On 2nd and 7, Lance escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
They'll roll him out right. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Trey Lance, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Trey Lance taking it in himself to cap the drive with a touchdown run. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Titans going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Smith. Over the middle, complete. It's Sanders. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Smith. Flush to his right. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 50, it's Smith. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached half. A no break needed. Let's get back to it. Week 3, here we go with quarter 3. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Play action. It's Smith. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Smith. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. completion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. 2nd and 10 coming up here in Nashville. Third quarter action. A give running left. Now the ball comes loose. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumbled, recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's a big play for the Jaguars. 45 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jags are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now Gino on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Not a blitz, but the guy who's normally the last line of defense recognized that he had a chance to get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Smith. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The Titans on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Smith. And once again, this is Sanders. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. To the air again, Smith. He gets this one to Burks. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Smith. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Jags are going to take over at their own 41. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Lance now on 1st down. And a throw right sideline is complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 36 yards on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Christian Kirk from 4 yards out. And the Jaguars are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team doors. They're trying to figure out ways to get better.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now this airmail to the sideline. It's incomplete. And there don't appear to be any flags forthcoming. Maybe a little fortunate there. It's third down.
Check number 6. Check number 6.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. One last throw here for Smith. He finds his man, complete. It's Phillips. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Jacksonville, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals.